During our friend's destination wedding in Greece, my boyfriend went for a walk on the beach. I found his flip-flops by a stranger's bungalow. When I knocked, he opened the door in a towel. Behind him? A bridesmaid. She gasped. He said, "This isn't what it looks like." I turned on my camera and said, "No worries. Let's get the lighting right, since this'll be your last vacation photo with me." We were in Santorini for Rachel and Danny's wedding. Rachel has been my best friend since high school, and when she asked me to be a bridesmaid, I said yes without thinking. It felt like a vacation and a celebration in one. I brought my boyfriend, Eric, who I'd been with for 3 years. We weren't perfect, but we were solid. Or at least I thought we were. Santorini was stunning. Everything about it looked like a postcard. The water was bright blue, the buildings were white with blue rooftops, and the sunsets looked fake. The whole wedding party was in high spirits. People drank, laughed, took selfies with wine glasses and cliff views. It felt like something we'd always remember. And we would. Just not for the reasons I thought. The first night there, Eric was weird. We'd just flown in and I chalked it up to jet lag, but he was distracted. We went to the welcome dinner Rachel hosted at a local restaurant, and while everyone was talking and passing plates, I noticed Eric wasn't really present. He wasn't looking at me much. He was barely touching his food. Then I saw him talking to Melissa. Melissa was another bridesmaid. She was Rachel's old college friend. The kind of woman who posts a million bikini pictures and says things like life's too short to be shy. She was always laughing too loud, flirting with the groomsmen, and wearing dresses just a little too tight for the setting. I tried not to judge. Rachel loved her, and I wanted to keep things smooth. But I didn't like the way she looked at Eric. Or how he leaned in too close when she whispered something to him during dessert. He brushed it off when I asked. Said they were just talking about the group hike the next day. I let it go. I didn't want to be that girlfriend. Over the next 2 days, I caught more weird moments. Eric suddenly had to leave our couple's massage early because of a headache. He went out for coffee alone twice, even though we had a full breakfast spread at the villa. I'd find him scrolling on his phone, quickly locking the screen when I came near. All small things, but they added up. I kept telling myself I was paranoid. That he was just overwhelmed, or tired, or adjusting to the time zone. But my gut wouldn't shut up. The day of the wedding, we got ready separately. I spent the morning helping Rachel get her hair done, keeping her calm, making sure her shoes were broken in. Eric was supposed to meet me at the chapel at 3. He was late. Blamed a wrong turn even though the venue was a 5-minute walk from our hotel. He looked sharp in his suit, though. And when we took photos together after the ceremony, he kissed my cheek and smiled like nothing was wrong. I tried to believe him again. I wanted to. We were here to celebrate love. I didn't want to ruin it. That night, after the reception, a bunch of us went down to the beach. There were lights strung up by the resort, soft music playing, people slow dancing on the sand. It was beautiful. I was barefoot, holding a drink, watching the waves when Eric came up behind me. "I'm gonna go walk the beach a bit," he said. "Too much wine. Just wanna clear my head." I nodded. "You okay?" "Yeah," he said. "Just need a minute." I watched him walk off. I figured he'd be back in 10-15 minutes. He didn't come back. I waited almost an hour. I texted. Called. No response. Something felt off. I started walking along the beach. Most of the wedding guests had gone back to their rooms. It was quiet, just the sound of the waves and the breeze. That's when I saw them. Eric's flip-flops. Half buried in the sand outside a private bungalow. It wasn't ours. I stood there staring at them for a full minute. I didn't want to believe it. But my hands moved on their own. I walked up to the door and knocked. A few seconds passed. Then it opened. Eric stood there. Wet hair. A towel around his waist. His eyes went wide when he saw me. Behind him, Melissa. In a white robe, hair down, clearly just out of the shower. She gasped when she saw me. Took a step back. Eric opened his mouth. This isn't what it looks like. I didn't say anything. I pulled out my phone and flipped the camera on. Cool, I said. Let's get the lighting right, since this'll be your last vacation photo with me. He reached for me. Wait, flash. Melissa yelped and ran behind the bed. I think we're done here, I said. Enjoy the rest of your night. I walked back to the resort with my stomach in knots. But I didn't cry. Not yet. Because I wasn't leaving Greece quietly. Eric humiliated me in front of my best friend's entire wedding party. He snuck around with another bridesmaid. During a destination wedding. In one of the most romantic places in the world. And he thought he'd get away with it. No. This wasn't going to be over until he felt what it was like to lose everything too. When I got back to the resort, I didn't go to our room. I went straight to Rachel's. She was in her robe, makeup half off, sipping a glass of white wine on the balcony. When she saw my face, she stood up. What happened? I held up my phone. You're gonna want to sit for this. She sat down slowly. I showed her the photo, the one I took of Eric at the door, towel on, with Melissa peeking from behind him. Her jaw dropped. Are you serious? I nodded. Caught them in her bungalow. He told me he was going for a walk on the beach. Rachel stared at the picture like it could rewrite itself. Then she slammed her glass down. That bitch. That bitch. I knew she was shady. I'm not just telling you to vent, I said. She's your bridesmaid. I don't want this to be a secret. Rachel stood up and started pacing. She partied with us all week. She was there when I picked my dress. She helped me with my hair yesterday. And she was screwing your boyfriend the whole time? She's not going to get to act like nothing happened, I said. Rachel didn't hesitate. She's out. I'm done with her. But this is bigger than her. You want me to say something? I shook my head. No. I want everyone to see what kind of people they are. So we came up with a plan. The next morning, the entire wedding group was having a farewell brunch. A cute outdoor buffet on a terrace, with fresh fruit, eggs, coffee, and mimosas. Everyone was supposed to be there. I barely slept that night. Eric tried calling me. Sent 3 texts. Please talk to me. You don't understand. It wasn't what it looked like. I didn't answer any of him. Instead, I spent the night uploading every cute couple photo of us from the trip, captioned with sarcastic lines like "Here's us before he went for a walk on the beach to clear his head" and "Here's the flip-flops he left outside her door." I tagged him. I tagged Melissa. I even geotagged the resort. The post blew up overnight. By brunch, everyone had seen it. People were whispering before I even arrived. Melissa was nowhere in sight. Eric showed up late, wearing sunglasses and looking like he hadn't slept. When he saw me at the buffet line, he froze. I looked straight at him. Loud enough for people nearby to hear, I said, "You forget your towel?" He turned red. Rachel clinked her glass and stood at her table. Hey everyone, just want to thank you for being here. One last toast before we all go back to real life. To love, to truth, and to never sleeping with your friend's boyfriend during her wedding week. Half the table choked on their drinks. She didn't name names, but she didn't have to. People applauded. Eric grabbed his plate and walked out. Someone muttered, "Good riddance." Later that day, Melissa tried to sneak out. I watched her walk toward a cab with her suitcase. I stepped in front of her. You could have picked any guy. You picked mine. At my best friend's wedding. You humiliated me. She looked like she wanted to say something but just shook her head and got in the cab. That should have been the end of it. But I wasn't done. Because what Eric didn't know, what Melissa didn't know, was that I still had access to our shared cloud account. And while I was scrolling through our photos the night before, I found something I wasn't expecting. Screenshots. He took a picture of a message from his ex. And that message changed everything. The screenshot was buried in a hidden album on our shared cloud account. I'd only found it because I went digging through the recent section, thinking maybe I'd find more evidence, photos, messages, anything. But I wasn't expecting that. It was a screen grab of a text conversation with Nicole, his ex from years ago. The one who'd cheated on him, then ghosted him for 6 months before crawling back with an apology. The one he swore he was completely over. In the message, dated just a few weeks before the trip, she wrote, "So. Santorini, huh? You think she's the one?" Eric had replied, "She's not you." My stomach dropped. Not just because of what it meant, but because of the timing. That meant he had already been talking to his ex before Greece. Before Melissa. Before everything. This wasn't a slip. It was a pattern. He was playing all sides. Telling me he loved me, kissing me in our photos, holding my hand during vows, while texting his ex and sneaking around with a bridesmaid. It all started to click. The sudden coldness. The distractions. The headaches. I wasn't losing him in Greece. I'd already lost him before we even boarded the flight. But now I had proof. And I wasn't going to keep it to myself. I called Rachel. "I'm about to go nuclear." She didn't even hesitate. "I'll bring the matches." That night, we invited the whole group to the rooftop bar for one last drink. Rachel said it was just a casual goodbye. Most people didn't suspect anything. I showed up in a red dress, makeup done, like nothing was wrong. Eric showed up too. He looked nervous but tried to act normal. Melissa didn't come. At 9 p.m., I stood up and raised my glass. "I know this trip didn't end the way I planned, but I want to say thank you. To the real friends. To the ones who were honest. And to those who didn't lie to my face while sneaking around behind my back." People looked around. Eric stiffened in his chair. I continued. "Oh, and for those curious, cheating isn't just physical. Sometimes it starts with a message. Like this one." I plugged my phone into the Bluetooth speaker and played the screen-recorded slideshow I made. The screenshots with his ex. The messages. The beach photo. The flip-flops. Gasps. Silence. Then Rachel added, "And let's not forget the towel pic." A classic. Someone yelled, "You're kidding me." Eric stood up. "This is private." I turned toward him, loud and clear. "You made it public when you disrespected me in front of everyone. You embarrassed me at my best friend's wedding. You played me, her, and your ex like we were all pieces in your sad little game." He stormed out. The crowd parted for him. One of the groomsmen muttered, "What a piece of shit." But I didn't follow him. Because I wasn't done yet. I had one more move to make. I was about to ruin the one thing Eric still had back home, the career I helped him build. Eric worked in real estate. Not just any real estate, he'd finally broken into high-end listings. Beachfront homes. Mountain cabins. $1 million condos in Seattle. He'd been proud of it. Said we were building something together. I'd helped him run his social media. Took photos of his listings. Built his website from scratch. Gave up weekends helping him stage homes while he networked. And now, all I could think about was how I'd wasted 3 years on someone who looked me in the eye every day and lied. Who stood in a towel in someone else's room and still had the nerve to say, "This isn't what it looks like." That towel would follow him for the rest of his damn life. 2 days after we got back to Seattle, I made a decision. No more quiet. No more waiting for karma. I was going to be karma. First, I logged back into the website I built for him. I still had admin access. He never changed the password. I replaced his banner photo, once a smiling shot of him in a suit, with the Santorini vacation photo I'd taken. Towel, flip-flops, stunned face. Caption, not what it looks like. I added a blog post right underneath it. Titled, How to Lose Trust, Clients, and a Girlfriend in 3 Days. I laid it all out. No swearing. No threats. Just the facts. The affair. The lies. The texts to his ex. His disrespect during a wedding week. Every detail. I even included screenshots, with names blurred, but it was obvious who he was. Then I posted it to every social media account he had. LinkedIn. Instagram. Twitter. All still connected to his business email, which I'd helped him set up. Within hours, it went viral. Friends shared it. Old clients commented. One woman, a former client who'd recommended him to her boss, wrote, "Wow. So sorry. This is not the man I thought I was working with." I watched it spread like wildfire. By the next morning, I got a call from his sister. What the hell happened? I told her everything. She was quiet for a while. Then she sighed. He did the same thing to his ex. I warned him this would catch up. Later that day, I got a text from Eric. You didn't have to destroy everything. I finally answered. You didn't have to destroy me. He lost 2 major clients that week. A staging company cut ties. And one of the homes he was supposed to show got pulled from the market due to personal conduct concerns. That one made me laugh. Melissa? She posted some sob story on her private Instagram about being misunderstood and female friendship being toxic. Rachel screenshot it and sent it to me with one line, I hope she chokes on her own fake tears. As for me, I moved out. Got a new apartment with hardwood floors, no memories, and better light. I started therapy. I signed up for a photography course, something I'd put off for years while supporting his dream. And slowly, I started to feel like myself again. I won't lie, I had moments where I questioned everything. Wondered if I'd gone too far. If maybe I should have walked away and taken the high road. But then I remembered the towel. The bungalow. The look on his face when I raised my phone. He played me for a fool. So I gave him a public ending he'd never forget. And if you ever see a Seattle realtor named Eric, who used to brag about high character and high performance, ask him about Santorini. Ask him about the flip-flops. He'll know.